Have you ever done one bad habit and thought to yourself, well, the day is ruined anyways, so I might as well maximize the pleasure, which is in fact damage. If you have not, you are clearly lying. That one slip up leads to you abandoning the goals that you have set for yourself. But it does not have to be that way. Today, I'll show you exactly how to turn around your day even if you feel like you have already wasted it. Now, I am Ankush and I help intermediates like you to get rid of the distractions and increase the focus in your life. So, open your notebooks, make sure to take the notes, make sure to do the actionable steps that I will be showing in the way, and let's go. Now, let's get on with the section 1. What is the fuck it all mindset? See, whenever you do one bad habit and that spirals into a lot of bad habits, that is essentially the fuck it all mindset. This happens especially when you miss a keystone habit. I explained the keystone habit concept in a previous video. I will link it down over here or there somewhere. You can go and check that out. But the main thing is the keystone habit is the most important habit in your life. That could be sleeping at a proper time or doing the workout at a set time, something like that. Now, once you miss the keystone habit or any habit which is good in general, what happens is you tend to spiral into negativity. Instead of pivoting and doing the good things in the rest of the day, what happens is you take one bad habit and the fact that you have done the bad habit and you say to yourself, all right, the day is ruined. Might as well let's indulge in the bad habit. For example, you woke up and instantly you ate junk. Now, what will happen is if eating junk food is a keystone habit of yours, you will spiral into thinking, all right, I have already ate the junk food. Might as well eat a few more cookies, a few more chocolates. Nothing will hurt, right? Because I've already wasted the time. I've already wasted the habit. I have already indulged in the bad habit. Might as well just maximize the pleasure and waste the rest of the day too. Because I'll start again from tomorrow, which is a cope. And in psychological terms, it is called WTH. What the hell effect? Where one specific action triggers entire abandonment of the goal. The most common example of this loop is the NoFap community. When a person in the NoFap community goes to NoFap day 5 and then he gets those urges to view the pornographic material and he ends up viewing those materials for one or two times in a day, he thinks that already he has wasted the progress. So might as well he just binges the entire history of pornographic material that he has not binged or that he likes to binge and waste the entire 5 days worth of progress. Instead, if he just watched those pornographic material one or two times in the form of the relapse and then he just continued with his day instead of indulging and overindulging again and again, he would have remained still a lot more stable than he is currently because he thinks he just wasted 5 days of progress. He feels that those last 5 days were a waste because he has already indulged today. If you are a gamer, you have heard this word tilt. T-I-L-T, tilt. Tilt basically means if you are losing, you will continue to lose. And the most famous example is, of course, the chess tilting. Especially when I used to play Blitz chess, if I lost more than 3 games in a row, I would literally lose the rest of the games till I quit the chess platform like for at least 3 to 4 hours because I was just in a psychological mode of lose, 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 lose. I would make the most simple of blunders after losing 3 games because my entire mentality had been set right. All right, since I have been losing these 3 games, I will lose the next game too, which is not true by the way, statistically speaking. There is a one third chance of me winning, which is 33% because the outcomes can be only win, draw, or loss. So there is 33% chance, but my brain thought it was 100% chance of losing just because I lost the previous 3 games. This is tilting. This is what happens to you. So if you have listened to my advice and are making notes, then give a star mark like this and add a point that the mistake is you are thinking one habit equals to entire day, which is the wrong mindset. Instead, you should be thinking if I do waste or I do indulge in that bad habit, how can I salvage the rest of my day? So, if you have been unproductive, then for the at least let's say 4 hours in a day, from the morning till the afternoon, you have been unproductive. So your main strategy should be thinking, how can I make this day productive further? For example, productive from like here it is 10 p.m. to about 10 a.m. to about 2 p.m. You have been unproductive, you have been scrolling, you have been binging on YouTube shorts, reels, or whatever like that. So your goal should be from 2 p.m. to your bedtime. Your goal should be, how can I make that 2 p.m. to bedtime window more productive? So you should think about minimizing damage, because the pleasurable activities that you consider pleasurable are actually not pleasurable, because they induce a huge spike in dopamine, which I covered also in another video. You can go and check that out. But TLDR, long story short, what happens is, if you do bad things, you will get bad dopamine and your quality of life will go down. If you do good things, your quality of life will increase, which is great. Now, those of you who are scrolling the comments and looking at the suggested videos, open your damn notebook and make the notes. This is much more important than looking at Mr. Beast videos, because these actually improve your life rather than just make you more produce more bad dopamine. And make a commitment or kind of a rule to yourself, a personal north star if you will, that one bad day is not equivalent to a bad week. Similarly, one bad habit is not equivalent to one wasted day. A day where you start with bad habit or unproductive habits can lead to a very productive day. And this fits very nicely into the next section, which is my story. And this story is not somewhere like I did the work 6 months ago and today I'm showing it. This literally happened today. So you have on case, on point study right now in front of you. So what happened was, I woke up at 6:30 a.m. because that's when I normally wake up. You can see in the routine it is written there. And that routine is just that stays there. You can ignore it or you can read it, whatever, that is on your wish, because focus on this now. This is much more important than my routine. So what happened was, I woke at 6:30 a.m. But instead of waking up and working like a human being, I went back to sleep again. I slept till 10 a.m. I woke up at 10 a.m. That's like 3.5 hours worth of work sessions evaporated. I could not work for 3.5 hours in my entire day. Like, even at the best, right? Our work day will be at least 10 to 12 hours at the best, at the maximum, if we are not doing some other tasks. Out of that time, I already wasted close to 4 hours. So instead of spiraling like most people, what I did was, I went and did the morning routine, took a bath, of course, with cold water that enhances your dopamine. Now, after all that, I sat down, made the script, recorded the video, and here I am right now speaking. And after this, I'll edit the videos, because I am still salvaging the day to make it more productive. Even though I have lost already 3.5 hours worth of work, I could have studied in that time, I could have made the video in that time. But since I've already lost it, that action is already in the past. I cannot change my past. Only thing I can do is work in the present. I cannot change my future too, because that is kind of logged. That is in the future. I cannot rewrite the future, right? What I can do is, I can control the actions that I'm doing right now. So the actions that I'm doing right now is recording the video, as you can see. So by recording the video, I am kind of undoing the damage that the 3.5 hours worth of nap caused me. This day is not perfect at all. Like, this day is one of those terrible days, to be honest, because I already wasted 3.5 hours of the morning time. But instead, I chose not to sit there or lie there and think about it all, philosophize it that, all right, I have already wasted the day, let me just do something else. It is not worth it to continue to work today. No, I'm not being a bitch. I have the time and I am working in the time. Similarly, you should too. This pivot from wasting the entire day because of one bad habit to salvaging the rest of the day after the bad habit is what separates progress from stagnation. So, the ratio of progress and stagnation is pivot efficiency. If you are stuck in a rut or or you are stuck in a behavioral loop where you just do continuously the bad habits, so the faster you switch, the more progress you will make. Essentially, that is the entire equation. You do not need to memorize all of this or think about it in different way. You just need to understand what I'm saying. Just remember this: the faster you can recover from a bad day, the sooner you will achieve the goals you want. It's as simple as that. There will inevitably be bad days and good days in self improvement. The day to day graph of self improvement something looks like something like this. In like if you zoom in on the graph of self improvement, but on a long period of time, it looks something like this, which is exponential, because you are getting the results and results and results, and they are compounding in the given time. But if you look closely, if you zoom in this section, you will see that it is actually filled with days with ups and downs. Some days you have like 3 or 4 days of good, then few days of bad, then few days of good again, something like this. Progress and self improvement and focusing and distractions, they are never linear. Something will creep up eventually. You do not have to wait for the perfect system to start, because the perfect system does not fucking exist. That's as simple as that. So, if streaks are useless, if self improvement is not linear, if the entire thing of progress is just basically minimizing our damage, then what the hell should we use instead? There has to be a proper measurable metric, right? Because without a measurable metric, nothing will make sense and nothing will get progressed. There is a very famous quote: what does not get measured does not get improved. People glorify streaks way too much. They should not deserve the credit they get. Like, streaks are totally useless, to be honest. They don't tell anything, mostly. Apart from just being a fancy number that people obsess over, it is basically nothing. And I will prove it to you with a visualization. So, visualize a guy who has gone in the gym for about 10 years. So, let's draw a stickman figure, right? Here is the guy. He will have muscles here and here, and he will have abs too, right? He will look something like, definitely not like this, but you get my point, right? He will be jacked as hell if he went to the gym for 10 years straight and would do it and did weightlifting and all. He will look epic. Now, the thing is, if he misses one day of workout or he eats bad food one day, does the physique go away? It does not, right? Because the guy, he can eat junk food for at least 7 days in a row before anything really starts to happen to his looks and to his body, to be honest, because he has gone for 10 years. He has put the efforts consistently for 10 goddamn years, and so it will not leave him immediately if he does one day of bad habits. This example is very easy to understand in terms of gym, because the progress actually stays with you and it is visible. In terms of things like nofap, the results do not actually stay with you. They are kind of abstract or kind of subconscious, to be honest, because the benefit is totally psychological and kind of physical too, because the energy regulates and all. But that is after a lot of amount of time. People do not get to see the immediate results. Whereas if you just drop down and did 20 to 30 push-ups, you will feel a kind of a pump inside of you, because that progress of the gym or the exercise is very much visible. And that is why we understand that if the guy ate junk food for one day, he or she will, of course he, what the hell am I speaking about, of course he, guy equals to he will not lose all of his body, because he has been putting the work for 10 damn years. What happens is, people like you tend to focus on getting one perfect day, then just doing the things repeatedly, consistently over time, over a period of time. And this is the premise. See, I will mathematically prove it to you how doing just 50% of the work is better. Now, let's think about a long frame of time. Now, because most people have an attention span of goldfish, so let's pick a very reasonable long amount of time. Let's say the long amount of time is 7 days. Don't freak out if you cannot visualize 7 days, alright? Now, there are two categories. Number one is one perfect day. Why the hell is my D reversed? Holy shit. I cannot write at this point. Wow. Can't speak, can't write. What the hell is wrong? Number 2 is all 50% days. So, for the calculation, let me do this. If one perfect day is 100% of the work or 100% of the results, and 6 day it has 0% results, then the average of that is approximately 14%. Yeah, it is approximately 14.28%. 28%. Now, what happens when all days he works only 50% of the time? So 7 into 50 by 7. The 7 and 7 cancels out and it is 50%. The difference is astonishing because here look, the difference is 50% divided by 100 by 7%, because that is what we put here. That is essentially 100 by 7. Percent cancels out. This cancels out with 2, which is 7 by 2, which is 3.5 times, not percent. This is times. So which means this all day, like each and every day, if a person puts out 50% of his efforts, it is 3.5 times better than a person who has one perfect day and 6 bad days or 6 no days essentially. So 3.5 times of the result is crazy. What I am saying is this 3.5 time increase is not linear. It is instead exponential, because each and every day you will work better, you will learn to do things better, and each and every day you will continue to improve. So this 3.5 times will just keep getting higher and higher and higher. So you should be very opportunistic in these things. Classic example mentioned in the Atomic Habits by James Clear, which is the British cycling team. Their motto was 1% improvement per day is very, very nice. So they improved small things, micro things, and hence got winning position in the whatever championship they were playing. Now let me show you the actual math and what nobody tells you about it. Let's say you are 1.00. This is you. Now there can be two paths. One is 1% improvement and other is 1% degradation. Do excuse my handwriting. If you are improving 1% per day for 365 days, which is a year, then 1.01 to the power 365. And here 1.00 minus 0.01, which is 0.99 to the power 365. Now, I did not mean it to be a mathematical lecture today, but bear with me because the results are very, very, very much shocking. Because see, this will yield something like 37.78 unit, whatever, let's say times, and this will approximately yield 0.025. Let me correct my mistakes. Yeah, 0.0255 times. So in one scenario you are 38 times almost better compared to your previous self, whereas in the other scenario, if you just degrade 1% per day, you are worse by a factor of 0.03. If you do the proper calculation, it is literally, I will tell you right now, it is 1480 times more than your normal self. Like if you are taking the ratio of the worst and the best self that you can possibly have, it is 1480 times. That is how much parity you will have in between becoming the best version of yourself in a year and becoming the worst version of yourself if you just improve or deprove 1% per day. So the graph will look something like this. Here, this is your maintenance. You will improve like this and you will fuck up like this. This and this, their ratio is 1480. And I'm apologizing if the light suddenly went out because there is an electricity issue apparently. Now moving on, you should definitely be able to see me and the board, so there is not much of an issue. What I want you to do is, if you're taking the notes, which you should definitely take, go and write down the entire not the entire, to be honest, because most of it is nonsensical to you, but write down the most important calculation, which is 1.01 to the power 365 and 0.99 to the power 365. Keep reminding yourself of that and open your phone once in a while and do the mathematics and see and remember that you can greatly improve or greatly fuck up your progress by just doing small things, small habits, whether good or bad. Now, this entire lecture was to demonstrate to you that you should think in longer aspects of time rather than just one perfect day. Longer lengths of time, for example, a week, a month, or some people say that habit formation takes 21 days. So let's say 21 days or a quarter or a entire 6 months journey. You should track a data and measure and recalibrate yourself on just longer periods of time rather than on a day-to-day basis. If you wake up today and just do the bad habit and feel bad to yourself and then proceed for 4 hours to make a new blueprint of life for yourself, it is not going to help, and wasting the rest of the day is also not going to help. So the only valid outcome for a bad day or a day with a bad start is keeping to continue the things that you have been doing, which perfectly leads into the next part, which is the ultimate solution. What the hell is the solution of all of this? The solution is simply make a goddamn timetable. Now, let me explain to you exactly why timetable works, and I'll tell you one simple thing which will make your timetables 1,000 times better, because you will not be restricted to minute by minute nonsense that most timetables preach, which is totally not followable. Now, there can be two types of timetables. One is rigid timetable, RIGIT, rigid timetable, and another is flexible. Rigid timetables plans your things or your habits or your routines very, very, very minutely. You expect yourself to be very, very perfect in rigid timetables, and this is like very, very much military style, which is not really feasible for most of the people because you will have an ever changing life. So rigid timetable goes down the drain because it is not functional. Not functional. So instead, we should move on and look into flexible timetables. Your routine or your habits is attached or stacked to previous habits or previous things or anchor points in your entire day. If that did not make sense to you, let me show you to you. For example, you wake up, then meditate, then check sunlight, or maybe, yeah, check sunlight, then go for a walk. Basically, both of these are same thing. This is a entire routine. This wake up, meditate, and then go for a walk thing, entire thing is a bunch of routines, a bunch of habits combined together to form a routine. This you can schedule anywhere. For example, if you wake up at 6:30 a.m. like me, then you still have to do all of this. If you wake up at, let's say, 10 a.m., you still have to do all of this. So this is very dynamic because it depends totally on your circumstances. This is habits stacked on each other. For example, if you brush at night and then read a book, that stays true no matter what. That is always constant depending on the time of the night you are sleeping in. For example, if you are sleeping, for example, if you are brushing your teeth at, let's say, 9 p.m., then you will read the book after that. If it is 10 p.m., then you will read the book after that. So both of them are already stacked together because they will always be performed one after another, and they essentially build a routine which is not dependent on time because the time might be changed. For example, I woke up at 6:30 today, as I said in the my story part. Still, even before doing all of this meditation and all, I fell back asleep. So I woke up at 10 a.m. again. Guess what I did? I did my morning routine, which is go and meditate for 5 to 10 minutes. And then I got on with my day. Even though my calendar or my timetable or my schedule or my routine said that from 10 a.m. to about 2 p.m. I had to work. But instead of working, what I did was I did meditation because that was part of my morning routine. So what I enforced in my brain was after you wake up, you have to do meditation. That is a binary thing. Instead of telling my brain, all right, I woke up at wrong time, so I will just move on to working. That does not happen like that because I will not be calibrated to work. Instead, I told my brain, all right, even though we woke up late, let's still follow the procedure. Let's still do the things. Let's do the good habits, and let's just see how the day goes. And this approximately currently is now 3:15 p.m. and I am recording the video right now. So this is how the day is going. Life happens and that is not your fault. Sometimes you are working in flow state and your parents suddenly ask you to do some chores. You have to do them because you cannot deny them. So your flow state breaks, which is very casual because it happens. Life always happens. There is nothing you can do about that. So do not micromanage yourself. If you indeed are taking notes, then make a star or bullet or something like that and write down one thing. Your job is to maximize the volume over time. Now, if you're taking the example of the porn addict again, if he watches the material 25 days out of 30 days in a month, then the next month he watches it for only 20 days. He has still greatly improved because he has watched 5 less days. On a short term, it might seem like he has not improved because he is still watching, but on a long term, on a broad perspective, you can see that he is still improving day by day, bit by bit. So track your progress on long time skills rather than short time skills and being a moody bitch about it. Because see, you can wake up, you can fuck up, and then you can research or journal for 4 hours and try to make the perfect framework again, but it will tomorrow once again dissolve. So there is no point in doing that. Instead, what you have to do is you have to see the data on a long term basis. So stop thinking about perfect days and start tracking the average one because they are the days that will make actual progress in your life and make actual changes in your life. Now, I have a standalone app that uses a radar chart to track the progress, which I made myself via coding. Which the radar chart is something like this. Let's say there are multiple variables. There is wake up, there is meditation, there is walk, there is workout, let's say, there is study. These are different variables which you can customize on your own, and these variables will be tracked on a scale of 7 days, 30 days, all over time. You will be able to visualize which habits you have progressed in and which habits you have not progressed in at all, which is crazy because people generally don't understand how to juggle everything in self improvement together. They think that I just cannot manage all of this stuff in one place, but it is doable with the help of a radar chart that I built in my app. So I will be giving it away with the focus course that I already have. And if you really want to improve your focus and get rid of the modern day distractions, then you can go and check out the focus course. The link is in the description. It is currently on a pre-sale, so the price is lower. It is only $25. It will be increased once I launch it properly, and you will also get the app with it, which is Epic, which I should have sold as a standalone app, but I will give it away with the focus course. I have been using it for some time and it actually makes a difference. Now, if you want to understand why you are addicted to something, you can go and check out this video on your screen right now, which talks about the addiction graph itself, of how an addiction evolves. And instead, if you are looking a way to get rid of your phone screen time because it is way too much high for your current desires and you are wasting your time on the phone entire day, then you can go and check out this video right here on your screen, which tells you the exact framework of engineer versus philosopher and the hybrid approach to quit your phone finally for good. And with that, as always, start if you haven't already.